although you said the procedure would be parliamentary, you also said it was impossible for it to go 12 rounds. Was there anything that surprised you in there tonight, coming back from Conor Benn?
Everything surprised me. I didn't know he had what he had in him. I really didn't. I thought I would break him early. I underestimated him. You know, I didn't train for a fight like that. You know, I didn't know he had that in him. He's never shown that. But then again, he's never had to show it. He had to show it tonight. And so did I.
Do you think that was a moment where
I don't care.
Humbled Eubank?
It's not about humbling, it's just respecting more. You know, I underestimated him in thinking I'd knock him out in 3 rounds and thought we was finished. Thought his heart would fail him, I thought his chin would fail him. You know, boy, was I wrong. Sometimes you're right in life, sometimes you're wrong. I was wrong that night too.
He underestimated you and you underestimated him.
Yeah,
you said you'd
I genuinely thought I'd knock him out in 3 rounds, yeah.
Was that the atmosphere, the occasion?
No, I would say certainly the whole lead up, I thought I'd knock him out.
And there is the reply from Conor Benn after hearing Chris Eubank Jr. admitting that he underestimated him. I think, and Conor Benn being Conor Benn, I don't care, right? But if you notice, you didn't hear a F-bomb or a 4-letter word. You didn't hear anything derogatory. I think it was respect all the way through, because the vintage Conor Benn, especially towards Chris Eubank Jr., he's aggressive, he's brash, he's rude, right? You didn't see any of that though. So I think, you know, that unspoken thing of what he didn't do showed you that he definitely, you know, respected it. And in fact, he was like, hey, I underestimated him, which I do think that was one of those things like, okay, he said it, so now I got to say it, you know what I mean? I did it because you did it, you know? So I think that's what that was about. But I think it's an unspoken mutual respect between the two guys, man. You know what I mean? The respect for war comment, I do think that was absolutely spot on. You know, you have to respect somebody that fought you like that. Like Chris Eubank Jr. said. And I think Chris Eubank Jr. was 100% honest. You know what I mean? It wasn't a thought about reply based on what somebody else said. He was the one that made the first comment that said, hey, I didn't think this kid had it in him. Coming from him, I didn't think that he would be that guy. But again, he never had to prove it. He had to prove it tonight. And so could I. That type of thing, you know, and I think it's just a mutual respect. Like, hey, let's make the first breakthrough with animosity, right? And I think that's how that should play out. But yeah, I think it's a good. I'm glad it wasn't let's be friends now, because I think that takes away from the passion of the fight. You know, if these guys actually liked each other, I don't think this is a Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti. I don't think so. I think they fought like that based on their namesake and based on the dislike. You know what I mean? So in the history, you know, with them, right? On top of the back history from their fathers. So yeah, definitely I want to keep that same, you know, mentality, that same passion by a little bit of dislike. But you guys tell me what you think of Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn's response to Chris Eubank Jr. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counter Punch. Peace.